that there is a disadvantage to being a rookie and starting as a quarterback right out of the gate, especially if you're not known for being the most, the most talented with arm strength, right? And so that would be. I don't know that it's anything other than just him doing what he feels like he feels like is best for him and his circumstances. But I mean, hell, I mean, if you listen to some of the which is actually an interesting thing to talk about, his press conference, he doesn't, at least this is what he states, he doesn't take any type of negative. He's not somebody who's motivated by the negative things. He's motivated by just his internal ability to focus on the things that he needs to focus on. I listened to that, and the thought that I had was, he's not going to be great. And the only reason I said that, the only reason
Bryce Glover on this. What the fuck?
Let him cook.
And let me explain.
Oh my
Name
goodness.
one great competitor on the face of the planet that didn't take offense to something and use that as fire to fuel him.
I disagree
Michael
with this.
Jordan, Tom Brady, every single great person that you've ever heard of, as far as in any type of a sport, has started out with a fire that has been ignited by somebody else. And that is where I have a slight concern, is that I feel like, yes, whereas some people might get stuck in the negative and that can be a problem, I think that there's a part of people that are great that look at the big picture of their circumstances. And I think that you see people take motivation from the things that are negative. And so I have a concern with that. It's not a deal breaker. I still believe in Bryce, but that was,
we tear apart every word and sentence about these guys.
We really do. We really do. And right now he has that Boy Scout look, or that
disagree with all this.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. It's my turn. CK, I look, is maybe he just didn't articulate it as well as he could have, right? And what I mean by that is, stop. The bell's still going. I mean, and when you're speaking in front of people, right, and you're on the cuff, right. We could go back and revise it, but like, what if? And the way I think of it is, this is the greatest of greats. The internal motivation is far greater than whatever the outside noise could ever give.
Right.
So not that doesn't help fan the fire, but the fire for the greats and the greatest competitors is an internal, eternal flame of competitiveness, where they're their greatest critics. They're the ones that are the hardest on themselves and things like that.
Did you watch The Last Dance, or the whatever that was with the Michael? I can't remember the name of it. The documentary, The Last Dance. Right. Yeah. So one of the things is, it was just the smallest stuff, and it was fuck him. I'm gonna it's like they draw from, yes, there's an internal competitive nature to them, but it's more than that. And I think they are able to take the things that are external and use them as it's just a fire that ignites for them. And
it's a good point.
That's but here's the interesting part about this. Dave Canales and Bryce Young almost had identical answers when asked similar questions. JC Horn did say he was honest with his. So I mean, I'm happy with JC Horns, because he was saying, yeah, I take, I want to show that we are the best. I want to prove all these people wrong.
Yeah, and he's heard the noise. CK, is Bryce Young, there's no, and back to Cody's original question about hearing the noise and is that affecting him?
Right.
There's no way he can't hear it. Right. I mean, even if he's not on the Twitter streets or the X streets with the Panther fans Googling his own name, he's at dinner parties. He's at events where ESPN's in the background. He's hearing even indirect conversations.
Right.
There's no way the noise he can completely be cut off from it. To me, though, maybe the noise to bulk up, though, wasn't from outside the locker room, but just on the field, seeing how fucking ginormous and all is like, oh shit, I'm in the fucking bigs in the NFL now. So like a recognition is that hell, these are men up here.
Everyone is 150 pounds heavier than me,
right,
and 5 inches
he
taller.
Doesn't need to be getting less poundage. It's
no,
like in his mind,
no.
He's like, shit, I gotta get my shit together. Not that he didn't. And to your last to your point though about the external motivation, I've been seeing this thing on my Twitter timeline. It's about this Navy SEAL David Goggins. And he's like, I don't know. It looks cool. I haven't explored it, but it keeps popping up on my timeline because I've clicked it enough. But there is something to like thinking of it sort of like combat, and like, and have you heard like Ryan Garcia? You remember when Ryan Garcia went into the ring and he's like, I'm going to assassinate this mug. I'm going to take his soul. Like, there is an edge of that crazy, I need to destroy you.
Right.
Not just beat you, but destroy you. That does make the greats great.
I think that's kind of undeniable, man. I put up a poll in the chat. Does Bryce Young have enough competitive fire? I put absolutely not at all. I put absolutely not at all. He's too timid, or I still need to see it. Right now, 41% says absolutely, and another 41% says I still need to see it. Right. So we're 50-50,
well,
man.
Monty hasn't come in here and thrown the numbers yet because he would just...
or Anthony. But I think we're to the point where a lot of fans are like, listen, it's a big year for Bryce. We've been talking about it here and on the free-for-all that with the amount of upgrades that you have made this season, and you have a brand new running back, you have a loaded running back room, you have 2 new weapons, 2 new offensive wide receiver weapons that are explicitly built for the type of play style that Bryce Young represents as a quarterback. I think we've done a lot for Bryce in this offseason. I do like to see that he has the initiative to bulk up and add on some more strength, but we would be absolutely kidding ourselves if we heard CK's point just now and absolutely dismissed it. Because right now he sounds like nothing but a Boy Scout at the podium, and we haven't really seen him get angry except for one rumored time last year where he brought in the players and had a meeting and cussed everybody out. Said, hey, it's not enough. All this stuff that no one has ever seen.
Sorry, that just tickles me thinking about it.
All this stuff that no one has ever seen, but we've heard about. So right now, he's going to have to combat with the narrative and the image of himself right now until he comes out firing on all cylinders.
Well, my advice to him is